You know that feeling when you're trying so hard to make something happen, but it's not working out? You're doing everything right, you're showing up, you're putting in the effort, but you're still holding tight for the control of results. You're trying for that job, but you're worried whether you will get it or not. You're leading a project, but instead of focusing on the process, you are worried how it will turn out. Or you're trying to manifest your dream home and you're so concerned whether you will get it or not. You wish you could just let go and surrender. Then this book is for you. I have been there exactly in this place. Honestly, I still go there, but this book has helped me a lot to let go and surrender. Last month, I became aware of the fact that I was holding on to results a lot. A client didn't pay on time, I would spiral, I would start calculating the losses, my other investments, how would it work out? A client call didn't work out and the voice in my head says, you are not good enough. I have a new idea for the program and the voice again says, maybe it's not good, nobody would come. Even when I was doing well externally, this attachment to results just drained my energy. Then one day on Instagram, I saw someone talking about this book, The Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer. The title really intrigued me because that's what I was trying to do and failing. Surrender, let go, trust life. But how to actually do that? I didn't know. If you would like more such recommendations and also a closer sneak peek into my world, what am I reading, what am I watching, subscribe to my free newsletter, link is in the description. I'll also be sharing personal growth tips and unfiltered behind the scenes of my own personal growth and healing journey, my reflections and more. This book is about the author Michael Singer surrendering to life, accepting what comes and letting go of control and doing what work life gives him. It all starts one day when he becomes aware of this inner voice inside his head that tells him you are not good enough, this is scary, this is bad, we don't like this. So he just wants to silence this voice. He does some research and then he discovers Zen meditation. He starts meditating a lot. This voice becomes silent, but still it comes up once in a while. As he goes deep into his spiritual journey, he starts an experiment of not listening to this voice. Instead, he starts practicing accepting the flow of life. For example, let's say you're expecting a sunny, bright day, but it starts raining. This voice or we usually go like, why is it raining today? It's not good. We don't like this. But he makes a point to himself to just not listen to this voice. Instead, look at the rain and say, oh, it's raining. It's beautiful. What blew my mind was he just wanted to live in the woods and meditate, but life had other plans for him. He gets offered to teach at a university. Other people start building homes on his land and he gets pulled into starting a tech company as well. Every time something like this happens, this voice says, this is not good. It gets angry, but he just keeps doing all of it as if the universe itself has presented this work to him. And he does everything with such commitment. He says, whatever I was doing, it was my gift to the universe. And where this experiment leads him is quite amazing. He builds a yoga and meditation community, a temple on his land, which is called the Temple of Universe. How beautiful is that? And also a multi-million-dollar business. I really loved this book, but to give an honest review, one thing I couldn't really relate to was the author just wanted nothing from life. He just wanted to meditate. So that was not really relatable to the life I lead or we lead. And also initially I was confused whether it's a lack of boundary because he was saying yes to everything. So it looked a lot like he was just giving in to what people wanted him to do. But slowly I could recognize the difference. It was not a lack of boundaries, but he was silencing this voice which often tells us you can't do this, you are not good enough, this is not good, you're not worthy of this, all that. I am trying to apply everything I learned in this book in small ways. For example, if a client delays payment, I used to panic. So now I tell myself, this is teaching me something. Everything is teaching me something. So if they have not paid, maybe they are not the right person or maybe they have some problems at their end. I try to focus on what I can control. And when I'm launching a new program, there is this fearful voice telling me maybe this is not good enough, maybe nobody would come for this. So instead of listening to that voice, I just tell myself, this voice is not always telling me the truth and I will go ahead and do it anyway. If someone reaches for a collab or I see an opportunity that's out of my league, I feel it's out of my league, I pause and I become aware that this is the voice that is telling me this is out of your league. So instead of listening to this voice, I tell myself, let me explore this. I'm not perfect at this. I still get anxious. I still crave for some control, but I'm learning to not listen to this voice. Surrendering doesn't mean you become passive. It doesn't mean you don't care. It just means that you stop clinging. You stop trying to manipulate every outcome to your likings. Instead, you just trust that life knows what it's doing and you let go of control. It's about showing up, doing your part, and then letting go of the rest. If you're someone who is thinking 10 steps ahead, unable to let go of things and relax, this book might really support you. If you have already read it, let me know in the comments what was your biggest takeaway. And also, I would love some spiritual book recommendations to read. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.